Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to the week in Marvel's Alliance. Your host, where he is back, brought to dry mind. And today, look at a few new things in the store, and we'll talk about the gold item that is up. So right now, it seems all Lockbox heroes and all comic covers are on sale for October only. I can't see this because I have them all. My guess is that you now have the ability to purchase for a limited time individual comic covers that you need to complete a collection. So if you're looking at Doctor Doom and you only need one more cover, you have the chance of either going Vegas style and buying lockboxes until you get that cover or fill the bonus bar, or just directly buy the one last thing that you need. My guess is this is the great way for people to go, is to get the covers that they need, but I cannot tell you how expensive they are because I can't see it, because I have them all, so I apologize. If anybody happens to know the price of them, please put it down in the comments below to help others out. We have two alt suits available for Amazeball's Spiderette. They are Scrapper and they are Blaster. I find it quite shocking that we are immediately getting alt suits for Hyperion and Spider-Girl. Just every now and then when you think you understand Play Dom, you don't. Honestly, they need a Snickers because they get crazy when they're hungry. And Hyperion with double ISO slots and an alt suit is definitely a Snickers moment. Not that I'm complaining, it's good. I've already even fought one in PvP on defense. But Amazeball's Spiderette, as you can see here, her default is of course a blaster. When you go to Amazeball's Spiderette, you get some metal on the cuffs. Her blue goes darker and her suit textures change from the kind of standard Spider-Man setup in the center to the big spider. Here are her new passives. So, well, the first thing you may say, alright, well, do I want to get Blaster or do I want to get Scrapper? You have to answer the next question in order to answer that question. Do you want to commit to getting one of the two new spider-related ISOs that is currently in the store? The snared one, the other one. If you are willing to drop the CP to get one or both of those, then going Scrapper is a pretty solid way to go. Do you want to get Amazeball's Spiderette to 15? If the answer is yes, and you're going to get those ISOs, Scrapper is a pretty good way to go. However, if you're saying no to those questions, go with the Blaster version because it is cheaper. You're going to want to have her sit as a Blaster anyway for the PvP bonus. And from what I've seen of her in PvP on defense, she hits pretty damn hard as a Blaster. So here's her new passive. Chance to pre-counter webbed attackers. Web Slingshot is now stealthy. Assuming you have her as a Scrapper and you have activated the Scrapper bonus, she will apply impact webbing and then likely follow it up with web slingshot. Why I'm saying the 8 ISO is a key is that, you know, with her level 1 being stealthy, that seems like a really good initiator. And if you wanted to have a chance to stun somebody or disorient a high priority target on the enemy side, that might be the way you want to go. But here you have the exploit webbing. Deals increased damage versus web targets, and attacks against web targets are guaranteed to hit and crit. If you go Scrapper with her, you have a nice combo. You lead with the impact webbing, which spreads it potentially to the entire team, 2 stacks of it, and then the web slingshot immediately follows up, exploiting what the lead attack does. That's a very nice combo. But it only really works if you get one of those ISOs. Otherwise, it's just an end cap in a disoriented big fucking deal. I'm letting her sit at her Blaster suit. And If you're on a budget, go blaster. If you have a little wiggle room and you do understand being level 15, proccing the class bonus, and you want to commit to one of those ISOs, I think that is the way to go. The fact that she has this pre-counter on webbed attackers, which it's going to be interesting is to see whether or not it's impact webbing that does it. Her best setup is your boy, AntiVenom. AntiVenom just simply leads with I am the cure. You have now webbed the entire team and you have completely set them up for Spider-Girl. Obviously, later on in a match, Spider-Girl has a chance to set herself up by the fact that she spreads webs to other people on the team. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do double duty over here. We'll try that out. And at the same time, we will also take a look at what exactly is the Munin's Eye. I'm going to tell you straight up, I rank the Munin's Eye as a no purchase. Do not get it. I definitely say do not get it at 96 gold. If you have a lot of gold hanging around and 96 gold is a drop in the bucket to you, hey, by all means, go Pokemon that shit up and buy it. You gotta collect them all. Other than that, I do not think it is worth it, and I do not think it is worth it at 96 or even 48 gold. So my agent right now has the Munin's Eye. The Munin's Eye says that a member of your team may protect against a ranged attack coming in from the enemy side, unless it is a counter class. What they mean by that is a tactician will never jump in and protect against an infiltrator. The reason being is they don't want you feeding class benefits to the other side by protecting. So a blaster will never tank against a tactician. A infiltrator will never tank against a scrapper. So what I'm going to do here is do short controlled bursts, which says that the next range action will become a quick action, and then I will not do a quick action and save that for the next round, because I'm not going to get another one anyway. So, Devoted Protection is kicking in, and AntiVenom is tanking the Power Armor's ranged attack. We are now going to open up and do I'm the lol on the enemy team. I always think of that as like one of the hollows from Bleach whenever I see that. Alright, so now everybody except for Sin on the other side is magnetized. Everybody is webbed. So if I was a scrapper at this point, I'd be firing the impact webbing and likely following up with the level 1, causing the disoriented. So because this is a blaster, my enemy agent is jumping in and tanking. And it did cause an extra turn, so that's good. You may activate the good side of class bonuses by this. That's a point in its favor, but it's still not enough points for 96 gold. I'm getting a free tactician bonus out of this. If Sin was determined to attack AntiVenom and my tactician jumped in and got a class bonus out of it, that's a win. That's good. Man, my Rapier and Cosmic Cardinal have been doing some work. I love how the gun kind of buffs itself up a little bit there. But I unfortunately wasted my free quick action because it was still turn 1. Thought I kicked over to turn 2. Didn't really pay any attention to that. This is a fun tune. I like the sound of this track over here. Still haven't seen the pre-counter yet. She is webbed, so let's just recharge. Oh yeah, what does the rattle do? Taking extra damage from counter follow-up attacks. So there's an ISO that's on sale in the store that says takes extra damage from counter and follow-up attacks. So this is like Pincushion. I think A-Bomb also has rattled. Somebody else recently has rattled too. It's Pincushion. Since this is a quick action subtle AoE attack when she uses this, it's really, really good because it beefs herself up. If she's going to be pre-countering people, it's going to do more damage. If you pair her off with an infiltrator that has the pre-counter ISO, even better. So, I want to see... Alright, I'm just going to web her again, just to make sure. And I want to see where her pre-fire is. Come on, do it. So here comes Devoted Protection. She was probably aiming for Amaze Balls, and my agent jumped in and tanked it. Still haven't seen her new passive proc, though. And we know that's definitely the new suit. It's not like that was a mistake. You can see the silver wrist slingers there. So Devoted Protection's going again. That's a Generalist now in round 2. That's why I protected. Let's rest. Let's apply some. So now we know there's definitely webbing on the enemy side. There. Right. No. That was Devoted Protector, but we still don't have the pre-fire. I want to give it a little bit longer to see if this thing actually works. She's not doing it. So let's just double check. Yeah, there it is. Chance to pre-counter webbed attackers. She's tangled webbed. She's webbed. He's webbed. So let's see what happens. There's her extra turn. Yeah, that proc rate doesn't look that good. We'll try it one more time on somebody over here. But, well, these guys have no synergy. We're saving. We'll go with saving. Didn't proc one time that battle as far as I could tell, so it's a little disappointing. But I think AntiVenom is a phenomenal setup for her. I mean, she could certainly hit one person on the enemy side with the web and spread enough web over there so that she starts accelerating herself, but why not have AntiVenom just AoE the team? Because it's also got a deep power caked into it, which is nice. Nice, relentless rapier follow-up. And wow. My follow-ups have been doing a huge amount of work today. Ah, there we go. That was it. So she does... Aha! That's pretty nice. I'll show you why that was nice when she did that. She's sort of like Fandral when she set that up. That attack has a disoriented to it. So it's entirely possible that she goes to... The enemy goes to attack, and since you are countering with Web Slingshot, they could get disoriented on the way to attacking and wind up hitting a member of their own team. So that could be really, really interesting over there. That might be about as good as like the Emma Frost pre-fire tap. So we finally saw it once in two simulators over here. We'll give it one more chance to proc. He's probably going to die to something. Let's see what happens. Yeah, she's dodging a lot, but she is not necessarily pre-firing. So the proc rate, at least in this experiment, doesn't seem to be particularly good, but it is there, and the fact that it will apply a disorient that may kick in as the attack is coming in and divert it back to the enemy team is pretty good. Considering people are pulling her off in PvP, sometimes with Pesty, sometimes with others, yeah, I think it's a worthy suit. I mean, it all depends on if you want to suffer the loss of an ISO slot, but it seems to be pretty solid, and if the disoriented validly can turn that attack back on the enemy team, I think that's phenomenal. And if you set her up maybe with a infiltrator with that ISO that says the counter attack is a pre-counter, and that also defends on things like a disorient or a blind or the psychic tap or the doom, she might be a really nice partner. She probably will partner up well with Silk, who puts out tons of single target webbed, but I think AntiVenom is the best, because if AntiVenom goes in one of the two slots before she goes in PvP, he applies webbed for free to the entire enemy team. So there you go. There is the week in Marvel Avengers Alliance. If you are already not a follower on Twitter or Twitch, go ahead and look down in the description, find out how to do that. I am broadcasting my PvP matches to Twitch about as every day as I possibly can. When I get done with those, I tend to wander over to the daily and discuss team-ups while I do the daily, just to make it a little more interesting other than just PvP. And it's led to some interesting ideas. So follow me on Twitter, where I release a tweet before I broadcast on Twitch. And then if you follow me on Twitch, you'll also get a notification there. I do broadcast other games on Twitch, like Heroes of the Storm and Marvel Heroes and so on. So hope everybody has a good weekend. Seems fall is approaching, but still pretty nice here in Raleigh. So take care, everybody. Have a good one.